Welcome all respected friends. Ratha Saptami wishes and prayers. Today is the day Bhagavan Surya Putra Manu, to which Manvantara we belong, has begun. That's what they say. Very auspicious day to invoke Bhagavan Surya Narayana Krupa for the Jnana Prapti. Gratitudes to you all for giving this opportunity to study Shastras along with you, and also congratulations for you. And by now, we might be very clear that it is our consistency of daily studying Shastras that at least we are reminded about the spiritual ultimate goal along with its glory. And yet, we cannot take ourselves for granted. It's not even a beginning that we are becoming familiar with the spirituality. We have not even started the sadhanas, and they have to be started. The sadhana has to be continuous, consistent, deep, taking us to the ultimate result. There only having reached that we can just think, imagine about relaxing. Till that time, the first and foremost and minimum thing of our daily studying the Shastras, which we have begun, should never be given up. And ensure that this has become a routine, a part and parcel of our daily life. This alone keeps us in touch with the Adhyatmikata, presently, especially in this world of Kali Yuga. The power of this delusion is such that those who claim to be spiritual, doing so many activities under the name of spirituality, also get deluded in those activities, taking them to be the goal when they miss to remember the main goal, Paramatma Tattva, because they have somehow or the other gone away from the Upanishad scriptural Adhyayana. Some are maintaining the ashramas, maintaining the devotees, doing so called activities, calling every one of them spiritual. uh, in so many of these type of things, people get involved under the banner of Adhyatmikata, missing the most important one of studying the Upanishads. Some of people also study Upanishad, get the theme, get stagnant there with satisfaction that we have studied Upanishads. And then the whole life is again of the external, the worldly only. See in how many ways we are deluded by the outer Maya and the inner mind. Their only objective is to take us away from the truth, as if experientially we are already taken away from the truth. Sadhana wise, we are not allowed. Even the Siddhanta Jnana giving Shastra Adhyana also, we are denied of if we are not extremely alert. So you and I are giving a beautiful gift to ourselves of reminding of the truth by being consistent, regular, at least to study the Tattva through the Upanishads, also the other beautiful classes in the evening. Upanishad, Gita, Yoga Vasishta Maharamayana, Adya Shankara Grantha. These four which we are doing every day are all greatest gift we are giving to ourselves. Imagine if we give it up for 1 week, 10 days. The whole truth of the mantra, Upanishads, the Upanishadic theme, the connection with the rishis, the connection with the truth, all of that goes away. At the same time, the whole world and worldliness enters into us, enchants us so much that we find ourselves back in that square one where we started long back. That is why every day, even if it is boring, we are reminding that let us not give up our Upanishad Adhyayana for whatever the reason. Minimum it is that we are able to do so far. For that only, great congratulations, as well as let us pray to the divinity to keep us on this track. Let none of the prarabdhas, none of the mind's mischiefs, none of the worldly attractions or temptations take us away from this most holy endeavor of Tattva Shastra Adhyanam. Yes, friends, wonderful day, Ratha Saptami. We will do our five things of Upanishad Shanti Mantra, Ucharana, Dhyana Rupena. In that there is prayer also, there is pratigna also. Then we will do a little common sense thought. Then we will see our prarthana sankalpas. Then the chanting of Upanishad mantra. Then we will study our Upanishad with Bhashyam. We will try and see that the first or second chapter today is concluded. Let us see how the Lord blesses us. Start. ॐ वाङ् मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्म एधि वेदस्य माणिस्तः श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासीः अनेनाधीतेनाहोरात्रान् सन्दधामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् अवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ वाङ् मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्म एधि वेदस्य माणिस्त श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासीः अनेनाधीतेनाहोरात्रान् सन्दधामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवत्ववतु मामवतु वक्तारमवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ वाङ् मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्म एधि वेदस्य माणिस्त श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासीः अनेनाधीतेनाहोरात्रान् सन्ददामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवत्ववतु मामवतु वक्तारम् अवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ वाङ् मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्म एधि वेदस्य माणिस्त श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासीः अनेनाधीतेनाहोरात्रान् सन्ददामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवत्ववतु मामवतु वक्तारमवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ वाङ् मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्म एधि वेदस्य माणिस्त श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासीः अनेनाधीतेनाहोरात्रान् सन्ददामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवत्ववतु मामवतु वक्तारमवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः Narayana. Yes, Vedic chanting we have done. We will also do Bhagavan Surya's some mantra Gayatri 3 times because today is the Ratha Saptami. Lord Surya Narayana Krupa for Jnanam is very essential. Mhm. Om Bhurbhuvasvah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ आदिदेव नमस्तुभ्यं प्रसीद मम भास्कर दिवाकर नमस्तुभ्यं प्रभाकर नमोऽस्तु ते ॐ सप्ताश्वरथमारूढं प्रचण्डं कश्यपात्मजं श्वेतपद्मधरं देवं तं सूर्यं प्रणमाम्यहम् ॐ आदित्याय विद्महे सहस्रकिरणाय धीमहि तन्नः सूर्यः प्रचोदयात् ॐ घृणिः पातु शिरो देशे सूर्यः पातु ललाटकम् आदित्यो लोचने पातु श्रुतिः पातु दिवाकरः घ्राणं पातु सदा भानुः मुखं पातु सदा रविः जिह्वां पातु जगन्नेत्रः कण्ठं पातु विभावसुः स्कन्दौ गृहपतिः पातु भुजौ पातु प्रभाकरः करावब्जकरः पातु हृदं पातु नभोमणिः द्वादशात्मा कटिं पातु सविता पातु सक्थिनी ऊरू पातु सुरश्रेष्ठः जानुनी पातु भास्करः जङ्घे मे पातु मार्ताण्डः गुल्फौ पातु त्विषाम्पतिः. Right, friends, in today's common sense thought is simple to know key as much is the razor edges path. Spirituality is equally, perhaps little more, razor edges path is the non-spiritual life of worldliness, samsara. In the spiritual path, the subject matter being subtler, the attention required become because it is very deep and subtler, little bit miss out, we become worldly. That is why it is called as razor edges path. You know, only that much in that. There are no in spirituality achieving or not achieving. Only these two are there. No other problems. But when it comes to samsaric life, the razor edgesness, the toughness, difficultiness is what key. At every moment, our wrong decisions, wrong activities, we get drowned more and more deep into the vicious circle of worldliness. At every moment, wrong decision, wrong action, if at all it happens, drowned more and more into the worldliness circle only of the karma phala, the vasanas, the kamanas. वो तो whirlpool बढ़ता ही जाता है. You can see that whirlpool in the waters. Somebody or some insect or something falls, how वो पूरा घूमते घूमते उसमें चला ही जाता है अंदर. The samsara ka razor edgeness is more tougher than the spiritual. Second side is what? Not only that, while getting drowned in this worldly samsara chakra, we keep more and more away from the liberating adhyatmikata or paramatma. That is how the whole world in today you can see. On the name of adhyatmikata, also the people are samsarika and worldly. We can be our own example for that. Therefore, increasing our intelligence and knowledge and wisdom, acting according to that gained wisdom and knowledge, protecting ourselves from getting drowned in the worldliness, maintaining our spiritual inspiration, initiative, and endeavor. We have to see to it that we are safe. And this is all in our hands. It is in our own maturity. What works is the wisdom only. As the spiritual wisdom works in the spiritual evolution, in which we know the reality, its nature, its upalabdhisthana, its prapti paddhati or marga or sadhana, along with the tayari. Evening class, Sri Rama and Vasishta Samvada, talking all these things so beautifully. In every of the Upanishads, this anyway inevitably we are studying only. As much it is required there, the wisdom. Here also in the world and worldliness, we need to have the knowledge, wisdom. That's why in Vedas, if you see, the mukti giving Upanishad Jnana portion is very small. Whereas to succeed and to maintain the success in the world and worldliness, the knowledge required is more, that's why it is bulky. The Vedic knowledge regarding Vyavahara. Same way in any of the total literature, if you see, the Upanishadic literature मोक्ष ज्ञान का कम होता है, बाकी सारा इतना ज्यादा. If you see the Mahabharata, Ramayana, Bhagavata, they're all moksha shastras. No doubt at all. Bhagavad Gita. But moksha sambandhi jnanam is there less because that much alone is required there. Remaining is practice anyway. But the other jnanam regarding the world is so much because here so many chances for us to go in wrong track and get trapped, isn't it? So many ways. And in spirituality, I myself, my guru, my shastra, my ishta devata, only these five are there. मैं हूँ साधक के रूप में, मेरा आत्म वस्तु है जो मेरा लक्ष्य है. मार्गदर्शक गुरु इज देयर, शास्त्र इज देयर, इष्ट देवता टू bless. Only five. But when it comes to the world and samsara, how many minds we have to deal with, how many situations we have to deal with, how many objects, etc., we have to interact with. It is very big, very terrible. एक जगह से बच गए तो आगे दूसरा सांप तैयार है निगलने को. वहां से बच गए तो तीसरा. Isn't it? Don't we see so? And that's why the worldly wisdom is also very essential. All our shastras talk about that only. That also. We cannot afford to neglect that and make our lives miserable for ourselves, make others' life also miserable. And how many those knowledges, wisdoms, infinite? How can we talk about all of them in our shortest time? So many. The more depth you go into, the more knowledges we will feel required to make our outer lives smoother for ourselves and the world around. Few common things which we can discuss today, one or two or three, or what? As we saw the other day also, first and foremost, learn to depend on oneself for everything and anything. Because we already seen so many times that dependency is the misery, independence is happiness. Not only to us, but because of us to others. Think, see, when I depend for tea or coffee for somebody in house, it's a misery to me because they will give it their own convenience. And the way they make, I have to consume. वो चीनी ज्यादा हो सकता है, दूध कम हो सकता है. मिजरी हो गई कि नहीं? Not only the dependency misery to me, to her also, or he who is whomever you are asking. They have their own plans, they have their own works to do, they have their own ambitions. Good or bad, how does it matter to us? But it gave them also misery. Out of love, they themselves give, it's okay. But when we demand, Gayo comes in, isn't it? Never ever depend. It's a misery. First of all, stand on our own feet. इन स्पिरिचुअलिटी में हमें ये, सॉरी, इन व्यवहार में, टू हेल्प आवर सेल्स मैक्सिमम वी हैव टू डू on our own for whatever we require or need. Must and should follow this path. And some of the things which we are not able to manage for ourselves, drop them from the agenda. छोड़ दो उसको, वो better है than depending. With this, so many of the dissatisfactions, obligations, clashes, quarrels with other egos, they all are cause of miseries. They can be avoided. In fact, it should be the other way around, that we should be able to finish our jobs and help others. And are there not some houses wherein the husband, yes, comes from office with all the tiringness work, yet he helps the wife in cutting vegetables and all? That is his initiative. That is his greatness. And that's so because of him, she is happy. The other way also is there, the wife doing all her homework, and when the husband comes, उनको अपने ऑफिस घर में जो है घर में हेल्प कर सकती है. And that also good synergy. Don't you see those houses? The other places also we see. Both are tiring each other. Instead of helping each other, demand from each other, and that becomes a misery. And what are the topics because of which the people at home quarrel, wife, husband, children? Meaningless ones. There is no pith at all, meaning at all in them. Very minutest things. And they make a naraka. And to such people, गुरु भगवान आकर उपदेश देने के लिए भी वो भी डरते हैं. Like when you invite me to your house and you both are fighting. And how can I have courage to talk to you Gita Upanishad? है कि नहीं? कोई खुद ही लड़ रहे हैं. तो मेरे को कहाँ मौका है? मैं तो 9 तो 11 हो जाऊंगा. 9 plus to 11. Isn't it? Practically. So minimize the uh, requirements, then therefore minimize the dependencies, and then whatever is required, do on yourself. First point. Second was, if possible, you help others and make their life little easier wherever they are struggling, isn't it? So that expands our individuality, that commands the respect and love from them, and there is a joy within of conquering our own ego, selfishness, laziness. These are the inner enemies, no? Though we are not talking spirituality, even in the worldliness also. You see that in many, many houses. Husband gets up before, goes and gets the milk and all. चाय खुद ही बना लेते हैं. See, make the life easier, simpler. घर को नरक मत बनाओ. दूसरी बात. तीसरी बात थोड़ा सेंसिटिव क्या है ना, as the age grows or in any other things grow, let us money or status, position, unknowingly inside the ego grows, arrogance grows. We don't become aware of it. Then we feel the sense of authority on all. Like the one who is officer in the office, authorizing or is an authority on 20 people. He is commanding them. उसका आदत होता है. Same thing he tries to do at home. यहाँ काम नहीं करता हो. Or the elder person of the family, either his father, eldest brother. It was need at one period of time that he had to order or command. वो काम करता था. But the times don't stop. Children grow, others also grow in age, in their position, in their maturity. They also are recognized in the society. And they also are slowly establishing. This man doesn't know. The head of the family, the tail of whoever he is, father or whoever. And then that same demand or arrogance or ego or that superiority feeling continues, and it goes on commanding and demanding. देखो भाई, बदलते हैं दिन ना, accordingly we have to change. We have to introspect within. Am I becoming egoistic? Am I becoming dominant unduly, unwantedly? Main thing is what? Because of these, are there disruptions or disturbances or agitations or miseries at home because of me? Whether it can be to the son or grandson or the daughter-in-law or anybody who are the members of family, if this sensitivity is not learned, and if we won't curb and curtail our own these emotions or negativities or arrogances or demands or dominations, then we make them so much miserable. And my point is what? Every thought of misery of people because of me, you know, gets impressed. It becomes, liability. आगे जाकर फिर उसके लिए हमको चुकाना पड़ता है सब कुछ. And they will be cursing us. Why this man is like that? Why can't he change and all? The same people who loved us and same become angry with us. Not they are wrong, we are wrong. एंड हमेशा हमें ही कैप्टन होना है ऐसा नहीं सोचना. हमेशा हमें ही डोमिनेट करना है. नो. व्हेन द एज ग्रोस वी हैव टू चेंज. यू हैव टू से लिटिल बेटा दो वक्त खाना दो. So this is my newspaper reading, this is my watching TV, this is what I do, my satsanga sadhana I am doing. Minimum I disturb you. See that how the children will feel happy. These men at the age of 70, 80 also commanding, demanding everybody's attention and seva. They are also human beings. They also have the health issues. They also have the financial issues. They also got children. They will also have to bring them up. How many are there? Not knowing this, whether it is father ho, ya mother-in-law ho, father-in-law ho, elder, whoever they may be, relation. We make the life naraka to others. Others do it for us or not. We do for others or not. Good help seva. See to it that others do not suffer because of our ego and domination demands. हो गया हमारा खेल. Same banda will not be president, prime minister, मुख्यमंत्री all the time. Isn't it? You see America का कितने भी presidents जो retired है जिंदा है. They're nowhere in picture. But when they were in the post, the whole country was, the whole world in fact, was under their command. वो हमेशा नहीं रहता. सो ये अंदर रेक्टिफाई करना है. दैट इज वाई दैट स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट ईगो कभी भी आने नहीं देना. इवन इफ वी गेट डिफीटेड इन द वर्ल्ड, even if we are insulted in the world, even if we are not cared, served by world, it is better to have that unrecognized ego than unrecognized individuality, than wanting to be a recognized arrogant individual and demanding from the people. नो, ऐसा नहीं चलता. 1000 लोग और डेली धमाकेदार युद्ध होता ही रहता है. व्हाट नॉनसेंस इट इज. Either they fight when they have to talk, or after the fighting they don't talk for 10 days. See, the simple common senses we don't want to have. See the strongness of the ego, insistences. मेरा ही बात चलना चाहिए. These are all no healthy good things at all. उसमें कोई मतलब ही नहीं, but then the amount of misery it gives. And in some places, somebody is dominant, others go on listening. By this, that other person is never allowed to grow. The highest crime is we with our ego, while suppressing others, when we don't allow them to grow, especially the children, that is the highest sin we are doing. Sometimes the husband doesn't allow the wife to grow because he is dominant. The wife doesn't allow husband to grow because she is arrogant. Both of them don't allow the children because they suppress. कभी कभी चिल्ड्रन खुद ही इतने बन जाते हैं गधे की तरह that they try to command the parents. What are you doing यार, कबाड़ा बना रहे हो. लानत है ऐसे जिंदगी पे, एजुकेशन पे, पैसे पे, that you are making your mind so miserable. The matter of beautiful thing called as love and concern, it has become natural daily. The danger that when we are more familiar that we lose the mutual respect and love, we have to be careful about it. 200 साल भी हम साथ में रहे, फिर भी वो एक respect towards each of them should be there. Like in some families in India, Punjabi, अब वो भी नहीं रहे, their grandfather 60 years elder to grandchild, फिर भी ये कहते पोता जी. He maintains that respect and distance. It is good for him only. Otherwise, if he takes the pota for granted, today the pota will listen. After 5-10 years, he will take you also for granted. Every day मिलते हैं, लेकिन the grandchild does pranam also. Grandfather also says pota ji respectfully, and they are together. Minimum are the disruptions, isn't it? Disturbances between them. So we have to stay together. We have to love each other. We have to respect each other. Still, we should not become so familiar that we take each other for granted and dominant. छोटे छोटे बातें पे irritation. How much of mind's energy is going away? How many of the vasanas we are creating, reactions we are creating, physiologically we are disturbing ourselves. Where is wisdom in that? So it's a razor edges path, you know, to sacrifice that ego, to maintain that respect and love for all the time, है ना? अब दोनों इगोइस्ट गए तो अब देर तो निरंतर युद्ध ओनली. Is it not education? Is it not wisdom? Is it not knowledge? Is it not required? Then what about next generation when they see us every day fighting? Will they have respect, love for us? Will they have respect, love for life at all? I will never marry the fellows because every day my mother, father fighting. Isn't that? The mother-in-law and my mother and my grandmother fighting every day. And what are the issues? There are no issue, only small little. ऐसा क्यों किया तुमने, वैसा क्यों करा? अरे भाई हो जाता है, क्या है? इफ यू वांट टू करेक्ट टेल हर, प्यार से. And remember this, even if you think you are wise and other person otherwise, and you want to educate, don't educate. Minimum suggestion, ऐसा करे तो ठीक होता होगा, सोच लो. Otherwise you start teaching others. Nobody wants to be taught. Do you want to be taught by me? You'll never. That is why you don't come. कोई भी किसी से एजुकेशन पाना नहीं चाहते. आजकल तो इन छोटे बच्चे 5-6 years also, my don't tell me, I know it, they say. Nobody is wanting to listen and get taught. It's the whole world has become like that. Therefore, negotiating, managing with all wisdom for minimum of mind's disturbances, minimum of making the jivana naraka. Mat banave. Only one parameter is what? If I am not able to make others happy, if I am not able to help others, never mind. Please see to it that because of me, others are not miserable. Others are not troubled. This minimum courtesy, minimum we can do, especially when we grow elders. हाँ, कुछ चाहिए तो भगवान से मांगो, कुछ चाहे तो बहुत सारा पुण्य करो, बिना मांगे आ जाता है. ये सब नहीं करते हुए undeservingly we demand, people get irritated, whoever they may be. Not big, don't ask them, but you are my child, I took care of you in the childhood and all. उसका कोई हिसाब नहीं रहता. You right now have no right to disturb others. That's it. Especially the parents, the father mainly. कोई एक ही घर में एक एक कार्टून होता है या नमूना, जो भी कहो. I don't know why that word came, but then not good or healthy. We have to be. And all these problems go away when we ourselves have our own substantial divine goal. That's actually basic thing. And if the father says like this, as I told, twice a day I come out of my room for this bhojan, some working a morning and evening I do. I am busy with my japa, my study of Shastra, my taking rest, and my doing some exercise. How wonderful that family is. Keep his spirituality as the goal. Go on studying Shastra, spend time in it. And today's world, The biggest cause of all problems is we have excess time and we don't know what to do with them. Therefore, either we become bhogi or we trouble others. बहुत सारा टाइम है क्योंकि काम धंधा करते ही नहीं, सारा ऑटोमेटिक है, सर्वेंट्स आर डूइंग एवरीथिंग। है ना, कभी कभी कहता हूँ मैं किसी घरों में लड़ाई हो, मैं कहता सारे सर्वेंट्स को निकालो, पूरे घर के काम में लगे रहो, तो वेरी यू हैव टाइम एंड एनर्जी टू फाइट विथ ईच अदर। लॉट ऑफ मनी, खूब खाते हैं, इतना एनर्जी है, वर्कर्स आर देयर टू डू वर्क, नथिंग टू डू, देन व्हाट दे डू, बाहर के टीच अदर, shout at each other, fight at each other. Is there any decency? Animals are better. पूरा घर का काम खुद करो, तभी जाकर थक जाओगे, सो जाओ. That is better than creating hell for future by wrongly acting in the present, by troubling others, disturbing others, suppressing others. कुछ कुछ घर में ऐसा होता है ना, that people act like a madman only, intoxicant only, drunkard की तरह. पता ही नहीं होता उनको क्या बोल रहा है, क्या चिल्ला रहा है, क्या डिमांड कर रहा है. That much childishness at the age of 60, 70, 80. अरे राम, थोड़ा रुको, थोड़ा मन को ऑब्जर्व करो क्या हो रहा है. फर्स्ट थिंग we have to realize is I am egoistic, I am demanding, I am selfish. These three are absolutely wrong. This is bacteria, virus and fungus. I should not be that. As we said just now, increase your punya, increase your upasana to devatas, Bhagwan. Then Bhagwan will give us. Don't ask the people, even if they are children. Especially the children, so you have to bring them up. You should not depend on them. If they take care of you, it is their greatness. It is their goodness. Now the situations ulta ho raha hai aajkal. Earlier, the children used to trouble parents. Now the other way around. The stupid parents, goalless fellows, bhogi, they are troubling the children, demanding. Both cases are there. No, don't do all that. Be wise enough. Live a decent life. Demand nothing. Live in minimum. Do your own works. Spend all the time in your spiritual evolution. That's better. Another helping thing can be what? To avoid all the nonsense. Associate with some or the other selfless serving organization. लगे रहो वहाँ 2 घंटे 3 घंटे पर डे. Thousands of them are there. Serve them. उससे पुण्य भी मिलता है आपको. टाइम भी स्पेंड हो जाता है. You are away from people, therefore their respect for you will be intact. Like this, we have only discussed 0.01%. Many are there. Situation related answers. इस सिचुएशन में क्या करें, उस परिस्थिति में क्या करें, वो हम डिस्कस नहीं करें. We are talking in general. In general, we are arrogant, we are demanding, we are selfish, we are mad. Therefore, we trouble others and invoke all the curse from them, disliking from them, disrespect from them, and then suffer inside. And 99.9% the mistakes will be of parents only because they are born first. They were expected to behave decently right from beginning, so that this naubat, whatever they are now complaining, should have not come. If the parents say that my children are bad, you are at fault because they are your children. Why didn't you bring them up properly? Even after your best of the doings, if they are like that, that's your prarabdha. You can't avoid it. But mistakes are ours only. मेरा बेटा मेरा बात नहीं सुनता, तुम ऐसे बिहेव कर रहे थे पहले से कि उसको इतना गुस्सा आ गया, अब पापा का बात ही नहीं सुनूंगा मैं. इट वॉज योर मिस्टेक. डोंट एग्रेवेट नाउ. ये सुन नहीं रहा है तो बोलना बंद करो, बस सिंपल. Isn't it? All boils down to one thing, कि I don't have my own personal spiritual goal. Therefore, I am worldly. Therefore, I am demanding. Therefore, I am disliked. Then I get disturbed, frustrated. And for no or minimum reason, I want others to love, respect. I am the head of the family. I am the husband or I am the father. Therefore, everybody should respect me. आईना देखो चेहरे में, चेहरा देखो आईने में. ये रेस्पेक्ट डिमांड एक सब कमांड किए जाते हैं ना, डिमांड नो. If you desire, they give it. If not, leave it. Isn't it? And is a false heavy pride, na? If you see from spiritual standpoint, the individuality itself is pseudo. And you want to pamper it by demanding from others the respect. And my own problem is my own ego. In Gita conclusion वही है ना यदहंकारमाश्रित्य नयोत्से इति मन्यसे मिथ्येष व्यवसायस्ते प्रकृति स्वाम नियोक्षति. भगवान कहते हैं अगर तुम गलत डिसीजन ले रहे हो दैट इज ओनली बिकॉज ऑफ योर अहंकार. अथ चेत तुम अहंकारात न श्रोष्यसि. See, with your arrogance and ego, and Arjuna, if you are not listening and following all my directions, Vinangshasi, you will destroy yourself. Bhagavan is not cursing there. He says every individual's mind and ego work like that. Other than the Guru and Shastra guidance, we become self-destructive, destroying others too. तो बार अहंकार की बात कहते हैं भगवान लगातार, है ना. यद अहंकारात न श्रोष्यसि विनंक्षसि. Then यद अहंकारमाश्रित्य न योत्स्य इति मन्यसे मिथ्येष व्यवसायस्ते प्रकृतिस्त्वां नियोक्ष्यति. Isn't it? In the remembrance of Lord, in serving the Lord, in taking the name of Lord, in knowing the glory of Lord Saguna and Sakara, let us find that joy, that bliss, that happiness, which is very harmless, very beautiful, very self-respecting it is. And if the children say, Bolo, the father just, twice a food we give him or 3 times, he is busy in his own shastras, all that karke bache, when they feel proud of their parents, how nice it would be to them also. It becomes an example also for them. देखो भैया अच्छा ही है सारा. अपने आप को ना थोड़ा ऐसा लायबिलिटी मत बनाओ टू द फैमिली टू बिगिन विथ दैट वो लोग जल्दी फुटवा बना के माला डालना चाहते हैं. ऐसा मत करो. Isn't it? So the razor edges path both. कभी कभी तो स्पिरिचुअलिटी आसान लगता है, इसमें प्रॉब्लम्स ज्यादा नहीं होते. इन द संसार प्रॉब्लम्स ही होते हैं. देयर इज नो सॉल्यूशन अनलेस वी आर पर्टिकुलर. ओम 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 सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै. ओम शांति शांति शांति. ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः. ओम यैरिमे गुरवे पूर्वं वदवाक्य प्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्. ओम शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्य कृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः. ओम निधये सर्वविद्यानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. ओम श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्. ओम भवयेव भवानिति मे नितरां समजायत चेतसि कौतुकिता मम वारय मोहमहाजलधिं भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणम्. ओम ब्रह्मानंदं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि. ओम परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्म विद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः. संकल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपया उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधेन अस्मिन् क्षणे एव मोक्ष कैवल्य प्राप्त्यर्थं सनातन धर्मस्य वैदिक हिंदू संस्कृतेः साम्प्रदायानां शास्त्राणां मोक्षमार्गाणां गुरुशिष्य भक्त भगवत परम्परादीनां पुनरुत्थान जागरण विश्वव्याप्ति विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगति एकता शांति पुरोभिवृद्ध्यर्थम अस्मिन् सनातन धर्म संस्थापने कंकणबद्ध अस्माकं स सर्वेषां निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थम श्रीराम मंदिरवत् शिव कृष्णादि समस्त मंदिराणाम् आश्रमाणां पुण्यदिव्य क्षेत्राणां विश्वविद्यालय भूभागादीनां पुनरवाप्ति तेषु निरंतर शास्त्र अध्ययन अध्यापन उपासना यज्ञयाग साधना सेवा तपस्या प्रार्थनादीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातन धर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यंतर शत्रूणां शाश्वतरूपेण समूल निर्मूलनार्थं भारतवर्षे विश्वे च अस्मात् क्षणादारभ्य वैदिक हिंदव संस्कृतेः सुसंप्रतिष्ठावाप्त्यर्थं विश्वे मोक्षधर्म पुरुषार्थ प्रतिष्ठा द्वारा विश्व संरक्षणाभिवृद्ध्यर्थं अस्यां कक्षायां संकल्पित सत्कर्मसु दिग्विजयार्थं तेषां हृदये परब्रह्म भगवद्देवता गुरुशास्त्र सत्संग साधना सेवा माता पितृ देश धर्म सनातन धर्म भक्त्यादीनां द्वारा जन्म साफल्यार्थम् अनेक शास्त्राणाम् अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये श्री कृष्णयजुर्वेदीय श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदः आद्य शंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मोक्षार्थम वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। ओम नित्यानंदम निराधारम निखिलाधारम अव्ययम निगमाद्यगतम नित्यम नीलकंठं नमाम्यहम्। Yes, friends, chant the mantras 15, 16, 17 beautiful ones together. यदात्मतत्त्वेन तु ब्रह्मतत्त्वं दीपोपमेनेह युक्तः प्रपश्येत् अजं ध्रुवं सर्वतत्त्वैर्विशुद्धं ज्ञात्वा देवम् उच्यते सर्वपाशैः एषः देवः प्रदिशोऽनुसर्वाः पूर्वोह जातः स उगर्भे अन्तः स एव जातः स जनिष्यमाणः प्रत्यङ्जनांस्तिष्ठति सर्वतोमुखः यो देवो अप्सु अग्नौ यो अप्सु यो विश्वं भुवनमाविवेश य ओषधीषु यो वनस्पतिषु तस्मै देवाय नमो नमः. So, friends, 15th mantra's completeness we have seen. What is Muchyate Sarvapashaihi? What is Sarva Dukkhapahani? Or it is said as Bhavate Vita Shokaha. What is the meaning of freeing from all the miseries? What is the meaning of or experience of freeing oneself from all bondages? Be attentive about it. We might have heard it many a times. Question is not how many times we have heard. Question is, have we understood, accepted, and acting accordingly? The freedom from all miseries and bondages is yada when atma tattena brahma tattvam yuktaha prapashyet. With all the yuktata, straightforwardness, and sadhana, when we realize the Brahman as the Atman. Which Atman? Deepopamena. Which Brahman? Ajam Dhruvam Sattva Sarvatattvair Vishuddham. So Ajam Dhruvam Sarvatattvair Vishuddham Brahma Tattvam Deepa Upamenena Atma Tattvena Yada Yuktaha Prapashyet Tada Vitashokaha Tada Muchyate Sarvapashaihi. Feel that mean. Huh? At this moment, let us not be lazy in our intellect, careless in our intellect, not to understand, not to value this most important knowledge. That I have to realize myself to be that Brahman of these qualities, these lakshanas, in which the miseries end once for all of them, and bondages also end. The miseries are replaced by the bliss, the bondage is replaced by the joy and of freedom, liberation. Don't we want that? आनंद और मोक्ष चाहिए या दुख और बंधन चाहिए? If we want to have the dukkha and bandhana, then continue being away from Brahman and continue considering oneself not as Deepa and continue considering oneself as the Upahati Tadatma Jiva, and continue seeing the world and get enchanted, continue having these Ragadvesha and act accordingly, and then go on creating Janma Marana Samsara Bandhana. कभी पशु बने, कभी कीड़ा बने, कभी राक्षस बने, कभी पिशाच बने. In yoga, Patanjali, sorry, in the evening Skanda Purana, though, how many stories that are coming. It is so indicative by Vyasji's Kripa. While telling the stories, he is telling us, भाई वहाँ कहाँ देखो वो ब्राह्मण ने किसी को नहीं नहीं वो राजा या कोई वो ब्राह्मण को कुछ दान देने का वादा किया. But at right time he did not give the dhanam. Then he got the pishacha yoni. How wonderful they are all telling us how to live life there nobly, etc. See, this is how the two options are there. Keep away the Brahma Anubhuti, keep away the Deepa Upamahatma Anubhuti, and take up Aham. Dehendriya Pranamano Buddhi Jiva Asmi. Then they look at the world and get enchanted, attracted, have Ragadvesha, and do all nonsense and suffer. Means continue what you are doing. That is the other option. Or Yada Atmatatvena Brahmatattvam Deepopamena Iha Yuktaha Prapashet Ajam Dhruvam Sarvatattvair Vishuddham Jnatva that Devam Uchyate Sarva Avidyadi Pashaihi. See the clarity of the thought that is given. ये लक्षण वाला ब्रह्म को आत्म स्वरूप में जान लो तो सारे दुख और पाश से आप मुक्त हो जाओ. And that has to be worked out slowly. Yuktaha. Shruti means with intelligence, with steadfastness, with commitment, with taking it as the goal. All of that come in the word yukta. देखो शास्त्रों में या बुद्धजनों के शब्दों में one word they may say. Then with that word, whatever the associated things that are there, we have to add them. Like yukta kaha. Yukta means steadfast. What it means? Steadfast in taking this alone as goal, steadfast at the Indriyas level, steadfast in studying the Shastra, steadfast in contemplation. All of that is included in Yuktaha. Then only Prapashyet will happen, means the realization of the Brahman as Atman will happen. A complete, beautiful shloka. Summary of what has been taught so far in this Upanishad and also all the Upanishads. And analysis we have done through Bhashyam. Ajam means birthless, therefore deathless. Ajam, birthless, because therefore causeless. Therefore, is not an effect. Because he is not the effect, he will not be the cause for something else. Isn't it? Because of Ajam and what do you call Amaranam, there are no modification in between. Vikar nahi hai. So to Dhruvam, Aprachita Swarupam. What a beautiful meaning, isn't it? Dhruvam is that Brahma Sthiti. Then Sarva Tattvair Vishuddham. In that pure Brahman, the Avidya Janita, Moha, Moha Janita, Upadhi Tadatma Janita, Sakala Durgunas, none of them are there in it. Immaculate that state of being is worthy of, in fact, realizing. Jnatva, such Devam, he is the Lord actually. See, yesterday in Yoga system, having told that Chinmatram, Chetanam, and Vishwam. Chinmatra itself is the Garuda Vahana Vishnu, the Shashi Chandrama Dharita Shiva, and then Kamalasana Brahmadeva, then Tapana, Lord Surya, Indra. All of that is that Chinmatra only was told yesterday. Sarvatattvair Vishuddham. These are all not there. They are all products of Maya or Avidya. अविद्या इज अ परमात्मा. परमात्मा का विद्या आ जाते ना बाकी सारे कल्पित पता चल जाते. कल्पित का सत्ता नहीं है. Therefore वो it will not bind us when we know it is kalpita. Brahman alone is real. I am that Brahman. Everything other than Brahman is kalpita. When it is kalpita, it is not real. How can it affect? Because you are taking it as real, it is affecting you. All that wisdom follows this. Done. Now we are left with two more mantras to conclude this beautiful chapter. What is it? Let us see. We started yesterday. Paramatmanam atmatvena vijaniyat iti uktam. The pure Brahman has to be realized as one's own self. It has been told. Tad eva sambhavayan aha. Glorifying that Paramatma. The verse comes here. So that our respect, reverence for that Brahma Tattva increases and we take it as our goal unhesitatingly. Tadeva sambhavayan aha. Right? Now we'll chant mantra. Yesterday we saw it, the meaning with Bhashya. We quickly study today. Start the solo mantra. एषः देवः प्रदिशो नु सर्वाः पूर्वो ह जातः सौगर्भे अन्तः स एव जातः स जनिष्यमाणः प्रत्यङ्जनान् तिष्ठति सर्वतोमुखः. Once again, एषः देवः प्रदिशो नु सर्वाः पूर्वो ह जातः सौगर्भे अन्तः स एव जातः स जनिष्यमाणः प्रत्यङ्जनान् तिष्ठति सर्वतोमुखः. Bhashyam. Eshaha iti. So here we are sitting to discuss the shloka which starts with Eshaha Shabd. That's how every श्लोक में भाष्य के समय वो श्लोक का पहला शब्द वहां बता रहे. Now Eshaha eva devaha. First and foremost is Eshaha eva devaha. He alone is the supreme devata reality. Eshaha eva devaha. And like all sweets basically are from the sweet which comes from the sugar. All the namkeen is basically from the namak which comes from the ocean. So too, in this world, the Deva, the Adi Deva is he only, this Brahman. Eshaha Devaha. Eshaha hi Devaha. Eshaha eva Devaha. This is one complete meaning. Now the second is Eshaha eva Devaha or Eshaha Devaha eva. This pure Brahman alone. What is he? As we saw in the evening class, he alone expresses Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara as well as Indradi Devatas. और यहाँ और कुछ ऐड करके कह रहे एष देवः एव दिस ब्रह्मन alone what pradishaha all dishas or directions. What is pradishaha? Pratyadyaha dishaha. Pratyadi disha. है ना? Prachya, Pradisha, Udichi, Dakshina, Disha. East and west and north and south. All these directions are this Brahman alone. Remember, in this direction, the Brahman is there. ऐसा नहीं कह रहे. The direction itself is that Paramatma. No, looks to be a little abstract. But yesterday we have exhaustively explained, if you remember, कि all these directions are in space. Space is in the mind. Mind is in the consciousness. That consciousness is Brahman. So the Brahman consciousness alone is mind, alone is the space, alone is directions. Therefore, every direction में भगवान नहीं है. Every direction ही भगवान है. याद रखो ना. You have to come to that level. From saying that in the ornament there is gold to saying that there is gold alone. What do you mean by in the ornament there is gold? Gold alone is real. Only the ornamentation is projected. So too, in the direction where is God? In the God, the directions are projected. God is primary. God is reality. Brahman is primary. Brahman is reality. Therefore, this Lord alone is directions. That's why in our Shastras, ये दोनों प्राच्य दिशा में रहने वाले परमात्मा को प्रणाम, प्राच्य दिशा रूपी भगवान को प्रणाम. The clarity is given. No, all directions are in space. Space is in mind. Mind is pure conscious Brahman only. Objectified conscious self is the mind. That's why the mind, when it focuses on the subject, the consciousness, it dissolves, revealing the Brahman. That's what meditation is. Narayana. So, Eshaha Devaha, Eshaha Deva Eva, Eshaha Eva Deva, that we have seen. Then, Esha Deva Evaha, Pradishaha, Prachyaha Dishaha, Pratyadyaha Dishaha. He alone is all the east, west, north, south, four directions. Then Upadishaha cha Sarvaha. Anu means Upa. Sarvaha means all other. What are the other? Upadishaha cha. Upadisha means basing on these four main directions. We talk about all other four directions. Then add two more ऊपर और नीचे. Totally करो तो all directions. Every degree in a circle, if you see from the center, चारों तरफ कितना भी हो, all those directions are Paramatma only. Eshah devah pradishonu sarvaha. Are we able to catch this point? See, Esha eva devah pradishah prachadyah dishah upadishah cha sarvaha. So all directions is he only. Okay. Now the second topic is Purvoha Jataha. He is the one first expressed as, first born as. And who is the one first born? कि सर्वस्मात means सबसे पहले इन्हीं का जन्म. पूर्व जाता means सर्वस्मात, सबसे पहले इनका ही जन्म हुआ. In what form? हिरण्यगर्भ आत्मना. हिरण्यगर्भ आत्मना. हिरण्यगर्भ is the Atma of all of us. So Hiranyagarbha Rupena, who is born, is that Brahman only. Don't worry about the word born or manifest or expressed. It's only Paramatma is with his Maya Shakti expressing differently. Therefore, there is no birth at all, but the word is used. Don't get worried about it. So sa eva jataha purvaha. Is it? Purvoha jataha. Sarvasmat purvaha jataha. Hiranyagarbha Rupena jataha. है ना. हिरण्यगर्भः समवर्तताग्रे भूतस्य जातः पतिरेक आसीत् सदाधार पृथिवीं द्यामुते मां कस्मै देवाय हविषा विधेम. हिरण्यगर्भ सूक्तम प्रथम श्लोक. So what is Hiranyagarbha sthiti is the samashti sukshma sharira adhisthana brahma tattva is called as Hiranyagarbha. And it is so common sense and logic that samishti has to come from him alone. All we the Vyashtis are there. So he as Hiranyagarbha is first expression. So what is said here? The cause of all of us individuals, the Hiranyagarbha, is not born from the Paramatma but expression of that Paramatma. Finally हमको सब में परमात्मा को देखना है क्योंकि वही सत्य है. So though the word used is jataha, it is because Hiranyagarbha Samvartata Jataha Shabda used in the other Upanishad, it is respected. But the actual thing is the Brahman with Samashti Sukshma Sharira Tadatmya is called Hiranyagarbha. So he is the first one who expressed. So Purvoha Jataha Sarvasmat. सबसे पहले is born as what? Hiranyagarbha Atmana. As a Hiranyagarbha. Second point is over. Now the third one. Saugarbhe antarvartamanaha. Interesting thing, na? Within that Hiranyagarbha's garbha, whatever are there in the form of Pancha Mahabhutas, everything, again that is that Parabrahma Tattva only. So, na, Purvoha Jataha, we have seen. Main mantra ka meaning. Then Saugarbhe antaha. Sahu antah garbhe. Within that Hiranyagarbha ke garbha mein, whatever are there, again that is Paramatma only. Saugarbhe antaha vartamanaha. Okay, more specification is given. अंतः वर्तमान में क्या है? स एव जातः शिशुः. So he, the Brahman alone is expressing as the born Shishu. Very interesting. स एव जातः शिशुः. Whether it is Manushya Shishu, Dinosaurus Shishu, Hippopotamus Shishu, or Machili ka Shishu, or even Machar ka Shishu. स एव जातः. See the vision if we develop this of seeing everywhere divinity. Will not all the wrong emotions born out of differentiation, they all end, na? We have all wrong emotions because of differentiation. Differentiation is seeing the differences and differentiating. What is the solution? See the difference but don't differentiate. How? knowing that all of them are expression of one alone, and that is the truth. एक ही परमात्मा के सारे व्यक्तिकरण है ना, उसमें संशय क्या है? ये नॉलेज जल्द से जल्द बुद्धि में क्लिक होना है. Then all this becomes easy to understand. He alone is there. He alone is there as all directions. He alone is there as Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha ke andar everything is he only. For example, the born Shishu, he alone. You know, by the time we talked this topic, that the born Shishu is Paramatma, actually in this universe, in all yonis, thousands and thousands of Shishus are born. More than that. Yeah, to every tree, the bird that is born, the flower that is born, the fruit that is born, the leaf that is born is the shishu of that tree only. So to the animal kingdom, the human kingdom, the birds kingdom, and also in all the small little insects creatures, कितने जन्म लिए होंगे एक मिनट में बताओ. That Paramatma only is expressing that. For us, we have to have the Paramatma Dushti everywhere. All else is secondary. That is why Saeva Jataha. वही जन्म ले रहे. ये सब उस परमात्मा का महिमा है. We are told so that our respect for him grows, and then we, keeping away all other our mind imagined activities, see him only, realize him only. For that purpose, the glorification, sambhavayan of this Paramatma is being said here. Eshaha Devaha Pradishonu Sarvaha. Then Purvoha Jataha. Then Sau Garbhe Antaha. Garbhe Anta means Anta Garbhe. Garbhe ke Anta means Andar. Anta is not end here. Garbhe. फिर स एव जातः शिशुरूपेण. Then such janishyamana. Not only at this moment the शिशु who is born, but janishyamana आगे काल में समय में चाहे जितने करोड़ों भी आप युगों का हिसाब लगाओ, whoever is born in whichever are the lokas, है ना, ब्रह्मलोक से लेकर के ऊपर का नीचे पाताल लोक तक 14 वर्ल्ड्स, ऐसे अनंत कोटि ब्रह्मांड, है ना. देन अंतरिक्ष लोक, सव्यक्ष किन्नर किम पुरुष सिद्ध चारण गंधर्व नाग, इतने सारे लोग. एनीथिंग दैट इज born is परमात्मा ओनली expressing through in the form, है ना. And Taittiriya Upanishad gave us crystal clear picture to apprehend this knowledge. You know, in everything born, there are three things. One is upadhi, second is in the upadhi, the reflection of the Chaitanya, third is the Chaitanya itself. So Chaitanya is Paramatma itself, there is no doubt. And the reflection of Chaitanya, also no doubt, because Paramatma ही है. The upadhi also, the Paramatma's undifferentiable Maya Shakti. At the time of manifestation, it appears as if it is other than Paramatma, as if only, not really. That's the play. The Maya Shakti, which is never separate from Paramatma, playing the play of being separate itself is the expressing as the Prakriti or the Upadhis. At the highest level of meditation, Brahman is Nirupadhika. At that time, where the Upadhi has gone, if he is Nirupadhika, it has gone into him, becoming one with him. That's why the example of that spider, it brings out the saliva to make the web. It's over, it takes up the entire web and saliva and makes it with one itself. It is not like we shift from one house to other, all the luggage is put in the lorry or any vehicle. No, वो तो उसके साथ एक हो जाता है पूर्ण नाभि के साथ. Otherwise, so much of the saliva when it consumes, it should become bulgy and big. वो तो होता ही इतना ही है. पर कहाँ गया फिर वो सारा? उससे एक हो गया. So, if that question comes, the answer is given. Sa eva jataha and sa janishyamanaha. See, if this thing, all these thoughts, we digest, every direction we see, everything that is born we see, going to born we imagine, all of that is Brahman only. That vision comes to us. And that Brahman is Ajam Dhruvam Sarvatatvahir Vishuddham. And this is how it is explained. There is no other way. If any other way you want, it is explained as Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Okay, and that also contrast picture. Satyam is said to avoid the asatyam. Jnanam is said to avoid the jadata. Anantam is said to avoid the santam. Otherwise, the experience of Brahman is even beyond these words, but they are nearest words. These are nearest words. So, Saeva Jata Sajanishyamana, we have seen the last line now. Pratyang Janan Tishtati means what? Saha Eva Sarvascha Janang Pratyang Tishtati. Means what? He is the one who is there within every being as the self. Pratyak means bahut nazdik pass. Parak means away, far away. The nearer than the nearest to. Every jana means janayati, janati iti. Everything which is born, the nearest to everything which is born is the Parabrahma only. And what is the nearest to every one of us? Our own Atman. Myself is more nearest to me. That's why it's called Pratyak Atma. Dehendra Pranamana Buddhi also we consider as Atma at Vyavahara Kala. But they are not Pratyak, they are Parak. Parak means they are Anatma only actually at one stage of maturity. They are all even given. अब निद्रा में तो हम जागृत सब सारे स्थूल सूक्ष्म दोनों शरीरों को छोड़ ही देते. So प्रत्येक जनान तिष्ठति means हर एक जन्मित प्राणी के अंदर प्रत्येक रूप में इज इक्वल टू आत्म रूप में तिष्ठति फॉर रिकॉग्निशन. देन सर्वतो मुखः. और सर्वतो मुखः कि सर्व प्राणी गतानि मुखानि अस्य इति. है ना? For every being, whatever the mukha is there, the mouth, he alone. Mukha is one symbol. It means what? In every of the being, all the karmendriyas, all jnanendriyas, all antakaranas are his only. That is called sarvato mukha, vishwato mukha. In other places like Purusha Suktam and Narayana Suktam, it starts with Sahasrashirsha Purusha Sahasrakshah Sahasrapat Sabhumim Vishwato Vrutva Atyatishtat Dashangulam or Sahasrashirsham Devam Vishwaksham Vishwashambhuvam. In many other places, we see all the upadhis are his only. All mukhas are his only. Isn't it? This subtle Vedantic Jnanam we have to crack, we have to internalize, we have to digest. That's our objective. The study of these Upanishads, contemplation of them takes us to that level after which, when we see everything as Brahman only, then our delusion of the mind of projecting enjoyability in the world, consequently creating Raga Dveshadi, subsequently making us do all nonsense and resulting in samsara, all of that get eliminated. I am Brahman, I am established in that, that Brahman only is everything else. Is a fact. बाकी सब माया का मन का नौटंकी है और उसका एक ही नतीजा है भगवान को भुलवाना. Making the Lord forgotten. And when the Lord is forgotten, the bliss is gone, the infinitude is gone, all the finitudes and miseries come. Need not worry about it. I am Brahman. That's it. उसमें रह जाओ बस. Anything other than his delusory projection has nothing but bondage. एषः देवः प्रदिशोऽनु सर्वाः पूर्वेह जातः पूर्वो ह जातः सौगर्भे अन्तः स एव जातः स जनिष्यमाणः प्रत्यङ्जनान् तिष्ठति सर्वतो मुखः सर्वप्राणिगतानि मुखानि अस्य इति सर्वतो मुखः. This is a glory of that Brahma Tattva. Sambhavayan. And that Brahman is you. You realize it. है ना? थोड़ा hesitation लगता है, शर्म लगता है in the beginning. But then at the maturity of understanding all this with more and more logic, example, contemplation, then we start believing in this fact that we are not this Jiva with upadhis, we are this Brahmana nirupadhika. May that time come very soon in our lives. Thank you. Om 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 Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Paramarshibhyo Parabrahmane Shrutimatre Namaha Tatsat Brahmarpanamastu. Come back for Gita study for some time. We'll conclude the Sambandha Bhashyam today.